Okay, all right. This is a one-speaker meeting. Please welcome our speaker tonight, and it is Barry.
Please keep your seats. Good night. My name is Barry, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you, Carol, and Jay is recovering from hip surgery. He actually asked me to do this in 2009. So better late than never, that's for sure. I am an alcoholic. I have been sober for the last 14 months. I'll have 14 months in 3 days. I guess you're not supposed to mention, the other. I've been. Well, I first came to Alcoholics Anonymous in 2005, and everybody is unique. Everybody's different. Everybody has a unique experience with alcohol and drugs, and I've heard over the years in these rooms horror stories beyond my wildest imagination that people have overcome and come back from, people who have made and lost fortunes over and over and lost them to drug and alcohol abuse and somehow have managed to recover, and I've heard them speak at meetings where their life has never been better than what it is today. And that is a testament to what this program has to offer, without a doubt. I've seen it myself. I've seen it with me. But it is a baffling disease, and it is one day at a time. And I have to be honest with you. If I thought I could, without any consequences, leave this room right now and get fucking loaded, I'd be thrilled to do it. But I can't do it. I can't, because I know what will happen as a consequence of that. I really want to reach out to the newcomers that are here for the first time or have less than a year. If you're here, I assume it's because you want to be here, because you want help. This is an extraordinary place to get it. There isn't anybody in this room who has any degree of sobriety who would not reach out to help you, to do whatever they can to offer you to recover from this terrible illness. There's people here who. I'm always reluctant to speak because I don't have a history of real wreckage and damage like I've heard some people talk about. That's just fucking fascinating to hear the shit that people have gone through and overcome. It's fucking amazing. I've sat on the edge of my seat at meetings and listened to shit and say, that's unfucking believable how somebody came back from this. Just murders, prostitution, just unbelievable horror. And to be honest, I've always felt a little guilty that my story was not as extraordinary and dramatic and filled with the fucking blood and killing and wreckage and shit that other people. Whatever damage I've done in my life, for the most part, I've done to myself, to be quite honest with you. I was married briefly when I was younger. I didn't have any kids, so they didn't have to see the shit that I went through with my drug and alcohol abuse, which started when I was a child. What started with cough syrup when I was about 8 years old. I got sick. My mother got me some cough medicine. I found out that it was just the smell of it was intoxicating, and I got hooked on fucking cough medicine at 8 years old, and I'd go down to the pharmacist and I'd buy over-the-counter cough medicine for people in my family that didn't even live or exist. So my brother's sick, he's got a cold, and my mother told me to get this, and I'd steal money from my parents and buy cough medicine, and then I discovered actual alcohol, and just the smell of it was absolutely unlike anything else. It went right to my fucking brain, right to my brain, and I just couldn't wait to come home from school and bring my friends over, quite often at lunchtime, and get fucking wasted. Just get fucking wasted. And, you know, I don't know if I could tell you it's genetic, because quite honestly, I don't know anybody else in my family who had a problem with drugs and alcohol. I did. And I could not stop, and I could not wait to drink. I couldn't wait to use. Any place I went, the first question I asked anybody, do you have any pot? Do you have anything to drink? I wasn't a belligerent drunk. I wasn't a violent, crazy fucking nutcase. Kind of a drunk, or bipolar, schizophrenic kind of a drunk, but I was just someone who just was not comfortable being who I was, and wanted to get out of that. Just, I guess I had a sadness about me that I needed to I don't know. It was something that was with me for the greater part of my adult life, for the last 40 years or more of my life. Just every fucking day. And it was unstoppable. And I would say, well, this is it. I can't do this anymore. And I never went anywhere to get help. I just felt I could do it on my own. And it was my ego. And your ego will fuck you up. Your ego will tell you can do shit and give you a sense of arrogance and entitlement that is positively fucking destructive. I mean, we can't live without an ego. You know, we're human beings. We have egos. But an ego and a mind is a terrible thing. That's all I'll say about that. A mind will fuck you up, man. So that's why I try not to use my mind and just give myself over to a higher power, because if I try to run the show's fucking over. So I, all throughout my, my teenage years, and I mean, I've done some crazy shit, no doubt. I've done crazy shit when I was a teenager. Hold-ups, prostitutes that we rolled in the Bronx, some of whom, God knows what the fuck ever happened to them. Anyway, I don't want to... It was, I've done a lot of terrible things under the influence of drugs and alcohol, no doubt about it. I don't want to bore you with the details, but trust me. For those of you that are newcomers here, if you think that you've got a history of wreckage and damage that you've done in your life that seems insurmountable and impossible to overcome, I can promise you there are many people in this room who have more sobriety than you do, who would make your life look like a fucking Disney movie. Really. So if you think, that you're in beyond despair, it's not true. It's not true. It is not true. You can get help here. You can get help here if you want to be helped. If you don't want to be helped, we could give a fuck about you. But if you want to be helped, we absolutely are here to help you. That's what this is about. That's what this has always been about. Fundamentally, one alcoholic helping another. Don't be shy about asking for help at all. That's what this whole thing is about. One alcoholic helping another. I had a girlfriend in Brooklyn, New York, who was also an alcoholic, and she was in denial about her alcoholism, and so was I. And about 12 years ago, I decided we should both go to an AA meeting, although I was completely in denial of my own alcoholism. And it was a very embarrassing thing, because I had never been to an AA meeting before, and when they walk around the room asking everybody to identify, they got to me, and I said, "My name is Barry. I am not an alcoholic, but she is." And it couldn't have been more fucking inappropriate. And she almost went through the fucking floor. She was so embarrassed and humiliated. But it was such a weird relationship, because we were both fucking drinking and using, and I was in denial, she was in denial, and after 6 o'clock at night, once she started drinking and using, she was impossible to fucking be with, and just drove me nuts, and said that I thought we should take her to an AA meeting, when in fact I had more of a problem than she did. So that was my first experience ever at an AA meeting in Brooklyn, New York, about 12 years ago. And then just all throughout my life, I can't remember a day that I wasn't high or drunk. Not a day. It's looking back, it's unfucking believable. It's unbelievable that I feel like I've wasted so much of my life that's irrecoverable, that I can't get back. And this is really a message for you people who are younger, to not throw away your life. That your life is valuable, that you're valuable, and you know, you can get a lot of love and support here. You know, maybe you don't get it from your own family or your own friends, but you can be sure, if you want to get sober, you will find it here. Without a doubt, you will find it here. I first came into this room officially in 2005. My fiance had passed away from breast cancer at 43, and that really put me over the edge. And I spent about a year of my life really trying to do everything I could to kill myself with drugs and alcohol, because I really did not want to go on anymore. And it was the worst year of my life, the worst loss I will ever suffer. I spent a solid year trying to kill me. And at the end of the year, I wound up at a doctor's office, and you know, he suggested AA, NA, MA, anything that'll get me into some place where I can experience some recovery. So I did have friends who were in the program, and I told them what the doctor said, and they said, "Let us take you to a meeting," and they did, and it wasn't terrible for me. You know, it was. I really saw a lot of myself in everyone else, and everyone else's experience. I saw a part of me, and I saw my sense of hopelessness and despair, and I decided to give this a shot, to give this program a shot. And I'll tell you what I found. And let me just preface it by saying this: I'm not a joiner. I'm not someone who needs to be part of a group or ever wanted to be part of a group. I've always had an aversion to organized religion. I don't know if I believe in God, but I will accept that there is a higher power. I will accept that there is something greater than me. Because if I believe that I'm as great as it gets, I and everybody around me is in big fucking trouble, because I'm not as great as it gets. There's got to be something out there greater than me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what God is, but I know that I have no interest in subscribing to any organized religion. I feel a spiritual connection. I feel a spiritual connection with this program. I'm probably an agnostic. I don't want to call myself an atheist just to give myself the benefit of the doubt. You know, that one day, you know, find out, oh yeah, well, you know, I thought there might be you know, but I wasn't positive. But now, yeah, man, I'm down with the program now. But here in Alcoholics Anonymous, we simply believe that there's a power greater than we are. Because if we believe that we're as great as the power gets, we should be able to do whatever the fuck we want without any, you know, and that's what got us here in the first place, you know? So, I've never, you know, I've always had an aversion to organized religion, and I came here and things made sense. Things made sense. I wasn't obligated to do anything other than be of service. You know, show up when I can, you know, take commitments if I want to. You don't have to do anything here. There's people who come here who aren't even, you know, alcohol. Some people come here just for the coffee. that there's, you know, and everybody's welcome. And there's great fellowship here. There really is. There's good people here, man. There are good people here. The people here aren't gonna fucking ask you for, you know, contributions and shit, and to do anything that you don't want to do, that you don't have to do. It's all understood universally. This is not a perfect program. You know, the only thing that you need to bring here, is a desire to be sober. There's a desire to leave all of the damage and the destruction behind you and move forward with your life and realize that each of us have exceptional value as human beings, as people, and that each of us has something to offer. And if you know, the best way to offer something to yourself is to give it to somebody else. You know, to get out of your head. If you think things are so fucked up with you, do something for somebody else. Really, it is amazing. It is amazing how much better you will feel by feeling that your life has a purpose, a sense of usefulness, that you were able to do something for another human being to make their life a little bit easier. And I swear to God, it makes your life easier. It makes your life better. There is no doubt about it. I've experienced this myself. You know, and like I said, I'm not a joiner. I'm not a guy that, you know, needed, you know, clubs and meetings and a lot of people around me or a lot of friends. I'm a Scorpio. I hide under a fucking rock. You know, but I've found wonderful people in this. This organization, for you newcomers, would be a great organization if it had nothing to do with alcohol and drug addiction and abuse of chemicals and shit. It would be a great organization if it had nothing to do with that. It's a great place to be. There's great fellowship here. It's changed my life. I never used to get down on my knees and pray in the morning. I didn't believe in, you know, I didn't know if I believed in God. But I'll tell you, you know, even if you don't, there's something therapeutic. There's something therapeutic about in the morning being humble enough and grateful enough for whatever it is that you do have to thank somebody for it, whoever that is, whatever it is, to be thankful for it. Because most people live their lives resentful about what they don't have, And it's a lesson that I learned when my fiance Robin passed away from breast cancer, that the only way I was able to hold this shit together was to be thankful for the years that I had her, not for the years that I will not have her ever again, but for the years that I did have her, that if I even had her for a day or an hour in my life, instead of the 10, 15 years we were together, it would have been worth it to have her for an hour, even only for an hour. So I really learned that in this program, to gratitude, to be grateful for what you got, because man, if you really took a look at what some people are suffering, you would be so thankful for what it is that you do have, that there but for the grace of God go I. And I live my life in gratitude. I'm very, very grateful. I'm always available to be of service to someone. Very few things give me as much pleasure than making somebody else happy. And maybe that is, I mean, I've been a stand-up comedian for over 35 years. I've been all over the world doing stand-up comedy and spent most of my life making other people happy. And to be quite honest, not really knowing how to make me happy. And as a result of that, I turned to drugs and alcohol to find that happiness. And I didn't find it there. And I spent so many years there. And I did a lot of damage to myself and my career. And I can only move forward now, you know, and I try to move. This program has helped me move forward sensibly, with dignity, with self-respect, with greater peace and tranquility than I would have had without this program. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, I'm not someone to come to meetings and be a fucking cheerleader and, you know, and say, man, you got to get on board with this. This is the greatest thing, you know, since sliced bread. But it is maybe the best deal in town. It really is, for what a human being can get here who is suffering from this addiction. It absolutely is the best deal in town. I'm really proud to be part of it. I love the people that I've met here. Really good, solid, decent people who have overcome tremendous adversity, and lived productive, respectful lives with great dignity. And for you new people, you can absolutely have that. You just have to want it and to reach out for it, and somebody here will grab your hand and take it and help you. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to cut my time short tonight because I'm not quite used to, you know, I don't do a lot of speaking at meetings. So you know, it's not, you know, that I have a whole thing prepared, but I did speak to you tonight from my heart. I really did, and I really did speak out to the new people to give this a shot. Sincerely, give this a shot, and do it with an open heart, and a desire to change your life. And you will find rewards beyond your wildest imagination. I would guarantee it. Anyway, thank you very much for letting me be of service, and I hope I was interesting. I hope I didn't put anybody to sleep. But even if I did, you know, anybody can come up here and speak, and a riveting, fabulous speech, and just electrify an audience. But to actually make you feel like you've had a good night's rest, you know, that's also important. You know, you could walk out of this meeting, say, you know, that speaker was shit, but I feel fucking great. You know, I feel like I had a really good night's rest. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me speak.